Money, moolah, dollars, cash, greenbacks. You want it, right? We do. Well, if you do, you got to be set up for success. And here's how you can do it. You can get success without lifting a finger. Well, not technically, but pretty darn close if you have your mind right. And on today's Small Business Rally Point, we are updating your mindset with money and motivation with Cyrina Talbott and Ariel Kopac. They're both coming on the show today. And with that much brain power, get yourself comfortable, grab a beverage, because today is going to be good. This is the Small Business Rally Point, the official undisputed weekly meeting of the small business community. Thank you for coming in. I'm Pat Miller. I'm the Idea Coach, your host of the show. Today, we are broadcasting live on Facebook inside the Brand Crafted Social Club. Hello to everybody on Facebook. And we will post this episode and all future episodes on the Idea Coach YouTube channel. So make sure you subscribe to that channel and you won't miss any of the goodness that we do here on the Small Business Rally Point. Plus, we have some excitement coming up next year. Our quarterly Brand Crafted Night Schools are going to monthly Brand Crafted Night Schools. So we'll have more content than ever before to get out there to help you grow your small business. A big thanks to our sponsors today, Serendipity Labs and the Idea Collective for small business owners. Shout out to everybody from the Idea Collective that is on the call today. Jennifer Buchholz, she is the official showrunner, the ultimate connector, and my business BFF. She is running the show today. Do you have a moment to stop and say hello to us, JB? How are you today? Are you doing well?
I'm good. I literally just got done producing a 3-set shoot for a Zoom thingadingy and literally just walked back in the door. So we're in Zoom mode. Let's do this thing today.
We're glad that you made it. Thanks for coming in. It's always better when you're here. So here's what's going on. It is the 9th of November. And I'm not sure what your life is like right now, but I feel like there's like you're on the playground, you're a kid, you're on a slide, right? From that to the end of the year, it's just, everything is slanted. It's from now to the end of the year. It is time to get it all done because Christmas is coming. And it's just a sprint at this time. So my calendar is on fire. The election is over. And I'm personally hosting, I think it's 6 live events between now and Thanksgiving. So it's a busy time to get some business done between now and the end of the year. One thing you want to put on your calendar is the Small Business Planning Week. We were kicking around some ideas inside the Idea Collective, and one of them that we came up with was taking Crush 2020 and making it bigger and better than last year. And some of you were at Crush 2020. It was a big in-person planning event that we hosted. Well, this year we're turning it into Small Business Planning Week. It's Monday, December 14th through Friday, December 18th. It is going to be led by Liz Watson, the leader on the Impact Trail, a planning and operations genius. And it's going to star as its faculty the smart kids inside the Idea Collective to come on and present their expertise. The coolest thing about all of this is we're going to do it at no charge. We're not going to charge anybody. So that way we can help as many small business owners as possible. So Small Business Planning Week, looking into the nooks and the crannies and all the stuff you got to think about to make 2021 successful, Monday, December 14th through Friday, December 18th. And then after that, it's the holiday season, right? It is time to sit back, have an eggnog, open some presents, and just reflect on the wonders and beauties of 2020. Right? Right. All right, so let's get into the show, shall we? Ariel Kopac of Harness Your Hindrance Coaching, Cyrina Talbott of Life Back Therapy. They're both joining us today. And after they are done, we're going to do 2 different rounds of small business networking. So you get a chance to meet some people on the call too. So let's welcome Cyrina and Ariel to the show. Ariel, how was your Monday so far? Thanks for joining us.
It's great. Been looking forward to this all day, Pat.
So has it been a busy morning so far, or have you just been thinking about this call and just prepping all day?
A little bit of both. A little bit of transitioning from focusing on one side of business to this, but definitely spent some time to make sure I was mentally ready for this, as it's something we've been looking forward to. And I realized it was 3 weeks ago, which we'll talk about the story later, but 3 weeks ago that Cyrina even talked about this happening. So taking it all in as far as how fast it's coming along, really excited.
Only 3 weeks and you're ready to go on the air and announce it. I admire your speed. What took you so long, Cyrina? How come it took 3 weeks to get all of this live? Come on, let's go.
Yes, I have a wonderful morning. I went outside. It's gorgeous. Yes, and it's come together quickly, but it's kind of like just really flowed because it just makes sense. Ariel and I have had more conversations. We did a webinar series together, and we had so much in common and so many similarities in how we work with people in our heart to help people, help business owners, help people in sales, that it wasn't that difficult to get our ducks in a row and get here. So, and thank you for having us and allowing us to talk about this.
You're kidding. It's fantastic. But I think we need to catch everybody up on what this is. So Ariel, what are you doing? Tell us what's going on.
So we are launching a series called Mindset for Money and Motivation. Cyrina and I both work with clients primarily one-on-one. And when we were doing our webinar series, we realized how much, as we were saying, how much we had in common, how much we're aligned in what we help our clients with. And there was actually a point at which we were doing the webinar series and we were like, we need to at some point tell people how we're different. And so we did a little bit of that distinguishing, but when we realized how much was aligned and how much passion we have for helping clients break through mental blocks, we from that decided we want to do this together and we want to do it for more people and we want to do it at a more affordable rate for those who maybe can't afford the one-on-one deep dive coaching. And so we decided to launch together Mindset for Money and Motivation, a group live coaching mindset series that takes place monthly.
That sounds awesome. So Cyrina, before we get into the whys and the whats, just let's talk one more second on the structure. So it's a monthly group that will meet, or is it a series of classes? Just give us what the thing is.
Yeah, it's a monthly group. You can join in November, but it's ongoing. So people can, if they hear about it after November 23rd when it starts, they can join later. But yes, we're going to be talking about the first half is going to be Ariel and I sharing tools, techniques about your mindset, how to change it, how to reframe things that are blocking you, that are getting in your way of your sales or your goals. And then the second half is going to be Q&A. So again, it's not one-on-one coaching, but we're going to bringing that value to the group. Like, what is your specific question in your sales this month? What is your specific question in your business? What's coming up over and over that you're having trouble, working through? And we can break that down and work through that together.
So you've explained how you two kind of look at things the same way, and it was only a matter of time, it seems, until you collaborated on something. But Ariel, why are you doing this? Why are we exploring money and mindset?
Well, I think nearly everyone on this call can relate to the mindset blocks that come in. And if not, we'll talk about maybe how they'll show up. But Cyrina and I both love business ownership. We love business owners and seeing the growth, and honestly, being in that position where you get to help someone have a breakthrough and then see them grow and flourish is one of the most fulfilling things that we get to experience as a coach. And so to do that on a grander scale, to reach more people, to expose those breakthroughs. Sometimes it's a matter of demonstrating the breakthrough and just making someone aware. Sometimes it's about digging in order to make that block disappear. But all of us have mindset blocks. We all can resonate with that and holding back our business. So the why is really to empower business owners to know how to break through. We can identify, okay, I know that I'm not reaching my potential, or I'm not at the level of success or growth that I want to be at, but I don't know what's holding me back. And Cyrina and I know that most of the time, the thing that's holding you back the most is you, and it's what's going on in your mind. And we just want to go in and help you to break through that, rewire it, as Cyrina said, reframe it. And with Cyrina's and my aligned passions, we were like, we have to do this.
Does that monthly rhythm help people realign their expectations because it's a consistent, ongoing thing rather than reading a book and walking away? Does that repetition help?
Absolutely. It's an ongoing journey. And there's never a one and done scenario when it comes to mindset work.
Mm-hmm. So,
I would add that, we all know we've read a book and then, implemented maybe a tiny fraction of it over time. But when you have the accountability and when you have someone walking you through exactly the steps, it's a whole different thing. And I would add, we're talking about money, but it's not money. It's what we're all going to do with the money. You know, it's more time, it's our goals and our vision, more time with our family and traveling and all that kind of stuff, and really showing up and bringing more value to the world and the marketplace and all of that stuff. So, you know, when I think allowing business owners to make more money, it's really allowing business owners to do those things that are way more important in those areas, and sales professionals.
So Cyrina, okay, I just have to ask, is this real? Seriously? Like, aren't there business owners walking around right now that say, well, I just need to be better at what I'm doing. I just need to sell more stuff. Like, what would you say to a skeptic that might say, wow, money and mindset, are they really connected? Like, talk to us about how this really affects us, whether we realize it or not.
Yeah, how we're thinking is affecting if we're going to do an activity or not. You know, and this is a thing. I work with business owners all the time who have maybe gone to a coach or read a book, or they know the thing they're supposed to do. I'm supposed to make more videos, and week after week they don't do it, right? So that's where you need this coaching, because you can know all the things you're supposed to be doing. You can know all the words, even like I'm supposed to be sending this email that says this thing. I'm supposed to be making these calls that say this thing. And yeah, I just need the actions. Well, if there's any area where you're not taking the actions, that's mindset. It's how you're thinking about it. Or if you're, you know, scared, you're taking the action and you're messing it up because you're stumbling over your words or whatever. That's your mindset.
So what are some of the roadblocks, Ariel? What are some of the things that get in the way when it comes to mindset and money?
There's many. And Cyrina and I, when we started to write them out, we were like, oh, and that one, and that one, and that one, and that one. They show up in many different ways. And this is why I say it's an ongoing journey, because as soon as you break through one or uncover a roadblock and break through it, oh, there's the next one. But they show up in regards to fear of success, fear of failure. When Cyrina's talking about money, right there, she jumped to let's be mindful of how we view money. How you view money is a very common roadblock for people. What money means, being okay with accepting money, and what that, and how you're going to use it, and the mindset blocks of, if I have this much money, what does that mean about me? So there's identity correlations. There's setting unrealistic expectations for yourself or for your team, and how does that have an impact? All of these things are tied to your mindset. Mindset really is about how you view the world and how you view yourself, and the correlations and connections that are being made between those two. So mindset can play with everything.
I want to drill down for a second, though, because I just want to really understand what you're saying. So if you had a mindset that rich people were evil and you start to get successful in your business, are you saying that you might mentally short circuit your ability to make a ton of money because you don't want to be an evil rich person? Is that the kind of thing you're talking about?
Yes. And I have clients who have discovered that exact fear.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What's the most common one? Like, are there any that stand out as the major food groups of messed up thought?
I'll jump in. For me, it's not deserving money. Like, money isn't available to me. So this is a person that grew up and maybe they weren't as wealthy as the other people, and those people have money, but our family doesn't, and those things, or where that they have judgments around those people that have money, but also like that's for those other people. So they have that and they're not even aware of it, right? Because that was something that they grew up with. And now they're a business person and you're making your, 2021 goals and you're like, I want to make this much.
Uh-huh.
And so you have your conscious idea of where you want to go. And then you have this belief that you're maybe not aware of. And that's one that I find is common, as well as money is evil. I had a client that money was bad and she was greedy, and we changed that. And then she was able to, increase her sales immediately after switching that.
We have Ariel and Cyrina for plenty of time. I'm going to keep on talking to you as long as we feel like it. But if you have questions for these two, it's a really great opportunity with both of them on the call. Drop into the chat, let us know, and we'll bring you on the show, because this is a great opportunity to talk about this particular topic. Ariel, I'm going to go back to you. How do we know if we have a mental block? Can we just assume that we all have a mental block, or is there something that's happening that might indicate to us that we have a mental block when it comes to mindset and money?
It's a pretty safe assumption, but oftentimes as Cyrina was alluding to, the words or thought of, I know I need to, or I know I want to, but I'm just not doing it, or procrastination is oftentimes actually an indicator of a mindset block, or having that cognitive dissonance of I want this, but something inside of you is telling you to not pursue it. all of those of I want this, or I know I should, I know I need to, I know I want to, but I'm just not doing it, or I'm putting it off, or I'm making excuses, as we say. Those are oftentimes indicators of a mindset block.
But they don't
Also, even I am statements of maybe I'm just lazy, or I'm disorganized, or I'm too this, I'm too that. Those are also indications of mindset blocks.
But they don't have to show up directly with money, right? Like, oh, I hate doing my social media. Why? Well, it might be because you don't want to get famous, because that means you know you're going to make more money, and that's why. It's that kind of chain of command, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, lots of correlations.
Cyrina, what if we don't think we have a mindset block and we just want to make more money? Is there a sales coaching mindset thing here as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I think if we want to make more money, then you also need to have the right mindset for that. So even if there isn't something that you're bumping into and against all the time, and you're like, oh gosh, I have this glass ceiling and I can't break it, or I have this goal and I can't get past it. Even if you just want to increase your sales, then you need to think differently, right? We have to become the person that we need to be to get the level of success that we want. So even if you're not bumping into a huge problem, or you're not stalled out, if you know, okay, I know I need to think different if I want to get to this level, then this is a really great space for that.
Would you be comfortable sharing a mindset block that you had about money, Cyrina? Have you had any in the past?
100%. I'll share. For me, so I grew up with a single mother, and she had been a ballerina as a dancer, and she had 4 kids. And so after she left my dad when I was 6, which was really good because that was an abusive relationship, she didn't make a lot of money. But if she was dating a guy or married a guy who had money, then we had money. And if she wasn't, then we didn't have money. So I had this totally unknown to me belief that the men make money and women don't, because that's what I grew up with. And so I was in my own, relationship with my husband, like, if I was going to have, oh my goodness, what if I succeed and I make more than him? And I was stopping myself because of that. Or, even the idea of other, like, oh, men can make that much money. Like if I'm a coach, the male coaches can make that much. Had no idea about it until I realized I was, we use the word self-sabotage. I was stopping myself, I was procrastinating, I was holding myself back. And so I was like, okay, what's the deal? What's going on? And it was like, oh. And so after that, you can switch it, and you can switch it and be like, oh, of course I can make that much money. Of course, I'm not 7 anymore. I'm not around, watching the women around me, my mom not make money. Like, I'm free to do that. But until I could pinpoint it, it was absolutely stopping me.
How about you, Ariel? Is there something that you've experienced that you've gotten past? And if you're not comfortable sharing, I understand.
Definitely.
You have one?
Yeah, absolutely. One of them, and I say one of them because there's a lot. Once you start to discover limiting beliefs and mindset blocks, they start to reveal themselves in other ways. But one of that in particular was actually, I discovered that I didn't realize was going on behind the scenes. I look up to my dad a lot. My dad is incredibly intelligent, and he is my dad who adopted me, not my biological dad. So I would make a joke about, well, if I was genetically connected, I'd be a lot smarter than my dad. And when I didn't realize until I was at this conference and kind of in a meditative state, realizing that I was telling myself, I can't be as successful as my dad because he's a lot smarter than me. And so I was having this kind of internal tension of, I can be successful, but I can't be that successful because I'm not as smart as him.
Wow. Thanks for sharing, both of you. Thank you for sharing. It helps to hear, especially from people that are as accomplished as you two, like how it manifests. So when you find the thing, we're in a session and you find the thing, what do you hear, Ariel? What do you hear when someone goes, oh my gosh, that's it? Like, how do they react?
That's one of them.
Bleep, 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 exclamation. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it's the moment of awe of, I had no idea that was there, which is very common. Like, I can't believe that's at the root of this. That's what's going on behind the scenes. Sometimes it's also a laugh. That's an indicator if someone laughs, like, what was that? And they're like, I just realized what it is. They laugh because it seems so crazy or so simple once it reveals itself. Other ones are a big sigh, a big relief, like a letting out of the breath of, sometimes I hear peace, motivation. I've heard, can we get off this call so I can go? Like, I want to go do this. Those are fun ones too.
So Cyrina, what's a good fit? Like, who is the perfect fit for this program? Because it's an opportunity to learn from you two every month and make sure that they're not letting the mental gremlins get in the way of them reaching their potential. So who's right for this group?
I would say anybody, but it's really focusing on sales professionals and business owners. So anybody with a goal, anybody that you know and you understand, like, there's areas where I know that I could be doing more. There's areas I know I'm procrastinating. There's areas I know that I'm supposed to show up more. I want to serve people. I have this big goal of reaching more people in the marketplace, of, hiring someone, or whatever it is, as we're looking at our goals for 2021. Even if we're looking at our fourth quarter goals here, any area where you need to grow, and maybe that you don't know, that there's something that you are going to need to shift or change in that area. And either, like I said, you've been bumping up against it over and over and over, or that you've got to think differently to get to the higher level you want to get to.
You mentioned this will help salespeople, and we have room for questions. If someone wants to ask one, drop it in the chat. We'll bring you on the air. But Tony Jalon's on the call, and he oversees 11 billion salespeople. Is that the accurate number, Tony? 11 billion? Is that how many salespeople you have under you?
One more to it.
A little bit close, at least. Tell us about how mindset affects the performance of your sales team, because they're in there trying to make money every single day. How does this manifest in the real world?
Oh, it's 100% attached. 100% attached. They can have all the activity in the world, but if their mindset isn't right behind why they're doing the activity, they're not going to succeed prior to the level in which they can succeed. Mm-hmm. So an example would be, actually just this morning we had a situation where a rep was making like 50 calls for 2 hours, 3 days in a row. We recorded him in the video, and then we replayed it back. He was doing the activity, but he sounded like he was living hell on earth, making the phone calls. Because his mindset was like, I'm bothering them, I'm interrupting their day. So with the switch, like with Ariel and Cyrina was talking about, like, I'm here actually to add value, can make a difference in his phone calls.
Yeah, that's excellent stuff. Ariel, does that stuff ring true as far as the type of people that can get something out of this program?
Oh, absolutely. My thought is anyone who knows that they can own the outcome. That's I think when we talk about the mentality, there's business owners and sales professionals and even entrepreneurs within a company, will benefit from this. But I think the type of person who would get the most out of this is someone who knows that they can own the outcome. You can't predict every obstacle. You can't always change everything about your environment, but you can own the outcome. And that starts with a mindset. So someone who wants to grow, is willing to make those changes, those mindset shifts, go through the sometimes uncomfortable process, but totally worthwhile process, because they know they can own the outcome. I think those are the people who will get the most out of these sessions.
That's great. Tony, thank you for weighing in on that. I appreciate it. I know that you supervise salespeople for a living, so I wanted to get your feedback on it. Before we go to the link and how we join up and all that, Cyrina, is there anything you can give us now as far as mindset and money best practices or shortcuts that we can begin using or looking at money in a different way that might give us a taste of the things you're going to teach and share in the program? Because I want to make sure for the folks that are on the call, they get something directly out of it today so they can consider the program long-term.
Yeah, absolutely. And someone had made that comment, money isn't evil. So addressing that one, money is just a tool. So what I like to do is I like to ask my clients, like, what are your goals? None of them have the goal to like rule the world and hurt people and, dominate things. We have good goals. And so when we think of allowing money in and we have anything like, oh, it's bad, or people are greedy, or I'll be a sleazy salesman, or whatever that is, it's really understanding what are your goals and associating good things. When I make money, I'm going to help people. When I make money, I'm going to serve the community more. When I make more money, associating it with good things, our mind moves us toward pleasure and away from pain. So if you understand you've got some pain associated to like greedy or money or anything like that, switch it over to all the good that you're going to do, and understand that money is just the tool. It doesn't have any power in and of itself.
Yeah.
You know.
That's fantastic. Ariel, anything that you can pass along to add to that?
I'm internally smiling a lot because I'm like, see, this is why Cyrina and I are doing this together, because I would say something very similar. And it just continues to show that alignment, which I think is incredible. And with that, identify or define how you view money itself, but then also your relation to money. If you had that money, if you had that level of success, not only what would you do with it, but how would you view yourself? And if there's a disconnect there, that's something that we can dig into. But there's how you view money outside of you, away from you, just externally as an item. And then there's how you view your relationship to money and what it means when you have it. Sometimes it's about having it, sometimes it's about receiving it, sometimes it's about giving it. But what is your relation to money? Because we create relations in our mind to everything. So what does that relationship look like? And how does it need to change to be a really healthy relationship?
Jenny is on the call and she's got a question. Jenny, I'm going to bring you on the air. I hope you don't mind. Do want to hear your question in the chat. Ariel and Cyrina. Jenny, go ahead.
Hi, I have a question. How are you? I'm super excited to hear about this. I got to get a little preview earlier in the week, or at the end of last week. I think my question is that in the small group type setting, are you going to be working on the individual block, or maybe more like the larger blocks that most people are dealing with, because it'll be a small group situation?
Yeah, great question. So in the initial part with the training, we'll be talking about not only content, but blocks in particular. So Cyrina and I were listing out all of the different blocks that we've seen from clients, and we're going to base the content, we're basing the content off of those blocks that we see. So we're applying real-time information and knowledge that we're receiving from clients so that we can take that to a bigger scale and demonstrate that. But then the Q&A portion, the live coaching part, is where someone can say, that sounds great, but I'm still struggling with this, or I don't know what that means for me in this context. And so people can volunteer and speak up and ask their questions. And I think as the group forms, that'll become more comfortable, because we'll realize we're all aligned to this. We all have those mindset blocks. We're not so different from one another, but also we'll keep it open as far as if someone wants to do a message request for us to explain, expand upon, or a direct in-person or direct vocal question.
So let's go to the close here. Talk about how many people are in the group. How do we sign up? When does it start? Is it a year-long commitment, month to month? Give us the lowdown, Cyrina. What's this going to look like?
There is not a limit on how many people can join in the group. And, you know, I would add, as you're in the group, you'll find they are common. You're not alone. Everybody's struggling with this. And as you answer other people's, you'll see your questions and your blocks reflected as well. It starts Monday, November 23rd. It's from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. the fourth Monday of the month. There's going to be a link to register. You can sign up already, and it's ongoing, you know, and that's really for the person to decide. But we recommend, you know, Ariel and I would both say this is an ongoing thing. We, even if you overcome this huge thing right now, you're going to grow. And so in 3 months from now, you're going to have a different kind of problem, a better kind of problem, hopefully, you know, as you're growing. We always need to be working on this and having that tune-ups and being around, just taking the space once a month to sit and take the time to ask these questions to yourself, work on this area, is going to make the rest of every month that much better.
That's great. That's
Did
great.
I answer all your questions, I hope?
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's what I was looking for. And Ariel, you've got the link. Can we drop that into the chat there? JB, you've worked with Cyrina on this subject. Can you let us know how it went? What did you think?
So I was a one-on-one client with Cyrina, and I'll tell you, I knew there were money blocks, but I didn't know. And once we started digging in, it was a fascinating process. But then to start to see almost immediately, once I was able to release some of that stuff, how it opened some money things up for me. One, of asking for money that when I normally might have given something away, 2, raising my prices, 3, on regular invoicing and collections. Like, it just changed a lot of the way I thought about doing some of that stuff. So I could not be more grateful.
Great to hear. Great to hear. I think, usually when we get to this time in the call, we don't talk about dollars. But Ariel, are you serious on this? Are you saying it's $57 a month? Is that what am I reading this right?
Yes, Pat.
For real, both of you on a call once a month to explore our money demons, $57 a month.
Yes.
Now, I had not seen the number until right now. That's why you're getting me going, really?
Cyrina and I really are, when we say that we're passionate about helping small business owners and entrepreneurs and sales professionals at all levels. This is our way to do that. This is our way to make it affordable and to make it so that the person has buy-in, but they're at a place where they're ready to grow, want to grow, and moving up. Don't trust us. We'll have a mastery series at some point. We're going to level up. We're going to continue to move up. But we wanted to give back in a way and also make it so that those who are hungry, those who are thriving, and those who are starving all can have access to this.
Wow. That's brilliant. Cyrina, I'm just shaking my head. This sounds like an awesome value. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. It was something where if I had my way, and I'm sure if Ariel had their way, we would just work with as many people as we possibly could, even if our one-on-one was out of their, price range. So this is really our way of doing that.
Yeah.
And we're going to have fun. It's going to be a major goal. So yeah, I'm really excited about it.
Well, it's brilliant. If you are billing $75,000 a year, this program will cost you 1% of your total revenue, period. So if you can do better than 1% growth by getting rid of your money blocks, this makes an excellent value. Cyrina and Ariel, it makes my little idea coach heart go pitter-pat that you two are collaborating. I think that's awesome. Thank you for coming on today and sharing it with us, and best of luck to you and the group.
Thank you, Pat. We're excited.